Hey everybody, this is Michelle Caulk from the St. Louis Counseling Center, and I just wanted to take a brief moment and share a very quick mindfulness exercise that is designed to help confront some anxiety. And I think we're all feeling some of this anxiety right now with just a lot of job loss, a lot of grief going on, a lot of family dynamics that have changed. And so this exercise will just bring you back to the present. It's one of my favorites. I teach it to a lot of my clients at our therapy center. And it's a simple one called the 5 senses. I'm going to take you through it. You can use this at pretty well any time. People don't even really need to know that you're doing it. But what it does is it brings you back to that space of awareness rather than kind of anxious thinking. Anxious thinking is usually based in the future, right? The things that we can't control. And it's usually based in this worry place. And so the 5 senses brings you back to that place of the present, to where you can control what you're noticing, what you are feeling. And the 5 senses exercise will let you do that. So let's get started. So 5 senses is very easy. It's essentially using what God gave you to notice your environment, all of your different senses. So we start with taking a good deep breath. And a good deep breath is from our tummy up, and so we literally feel stomach expand a little bit as we take that inhale. Feel our lungs fill up all the way up. So take a moment. Take a good deep breath, and you may even feel your shoulders, your neck, your face relax. And then our first step of the 5 senses exercise is to look around and see 5 things that you can see. And so you're really noticing some details. For example, you might be seeing the plant that's behind me if you're still looking at your screen. If you're looking around your own office or bedroom, just take a moment and just really focus in on 5 things that you can see, including maybe even the texture of fabric, or noticing the color of something like the bright pop of orange that's in the plant behind me. Just take a moment. And then take another good deep breath. And we're going to go on to the 4 things then that you can touch. And it might be the chair that you're sitting in. So if you're putting your hands down, maybe feeling the roughness of the fabric or the softness of the fabric of the chair that you're sitting in. Maybe it's the hardness of the desk. Maybe it's even taking an object like a pen and kind of feeling what that truly feels like. I also have a mug of coffee, and so you might feel the warmth if you have some coffee or tea right now. So just take a moment and notice 4 things that you can touch right now. And then take a good deep breath again. And our next sense is the sense of hearing, which if you're from home right now, like many of us are, that might be kids playing in the background. That might be your dog or your cat wandering around the house, maybe barking at the UPS guy like mine has been doing for, it feels like 30 days straight now. It might even be some of the birds that are chirping outside of your window. So just take a moment and be with 3 things that you can hear. And just observe. Very good. Now take a good deep breath. And our next step is 2 things that you can smell. And this might take a little bit of effort to look around and see the different things that you can smell. But for example, again, I have my cup of coffee. You can have tea, whatever works for you. And my favorite is this one called Highlander Grog. It has a very distinct smell about it. So just take a moment. Maybe it's a candle for you. Maybe it's a piece of fruit or something along those lines. So just take a moment and just breathe deeply again and introduce 2 things that you can smell. And then our final piece to the 5 senses mindfulness exercise is the one thing that you can taste. And again, this might be, you know, running to the pantry real quick for a little bite of chocolate if you enjoy that. I, again, have my coffee here. So coffee apparently is really good for all the senses. No wonder we enjoy it so much. So just take a moment, and if there's one thing handy right now that you can taste, go ahead and do that. And then finish it off with a nice, good, deep breath, and notice where your shoulders are right now. Just notice where your mind is at. It hopefully has been pulled back to the present rather than a future-facing worry or anxiety or stress kind of place. And I hope this has been helpful to you. Please feel free to comment on this. We'd love to hear your feedback if this was useful to you. And I appreciate spending a little bit of time with you today. Thanks.